For 8 years, this was the fastest anyone had ever beaten Spelunky, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A world record that sat untouched while the entire speedrunning world moved on. Nobody could beat it. The best players on Earth, people who had poured thousands of hours into this game, couldn't even come close. And in speedrunning, where times are measured in milliseconds, the gap between them and this run was enormous. So everyone assumed the man who said it was simply a genius, a 1 in a million talent who showed up, did the impossible, and vanished. But there was a problem, and the problem was hiding in the corner of the screen, a single missing tile. One tiny block that should never have been there. For 8 years, nobody noticed it, and the day someone finally did, it brought the whole thing crashing down. To understand why this record was so suspicious, you have to understand what kind of game Spelunky is. Spelunky is random. Every single time you play, the game builds a brand new cave out of small handmade pieces, like digital Lego. No two runs are ever the same. You can't memorize the levels because the levels don't exist until the moment you start playing. That randomness is the entire soul of the game, and it's also what makes speedrunning it so brutal. To get a fast time, you don't just need skill. You need the game to randomly hand you a perfect layout, a clean path from the top of the level straight to the exit. And you need that luck to strike on every single level, back to back, without dying once. In 2013, a player named Barry Mode uploaded a single video, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, start to finish, a world record. And then he basically disappeared. He wasn't part of the speedrunning community. He didn't stream, he didn't post strategies or talk shop with the other runners. He showed up, dropped the greatest Spelunky run in history, and walked away. The real speedrunners, the people who lived and breathed this game, kept grinding for years trying to catch him. The best legitimate run anyone could point to was nearly 20 seconds slower than his. Something didn't add up. But suspicion isn't proof. And for almost a decade, nobody could prove a thing. Then, one day, in a Spelunky community Discord, someone pointed at the screen and asked a simple question. Why is that block missing? It was nothing. A single tile in the corner of the screen, gone. During the brief moment the game transitions between stages. The kind of thing you would never notice in a million years unless you were staring at this footage frame by frame. Glitches happen in games, especially in speedruns, and on its own, a missing tile means nothing. But people were already suspicious of this run. So one fan, a creator named Xanagear, decided to pull on the thread. He went into the actual source code of Spelunky to find out what that tile was supposed to be. And here's where it gets strange. That tile was hard-coded. In a game where almost everything is random, this specific tile was one of the few things that was always supposed to be there, every single time. It was written directly into the game, and there was no legitimate way for it to simply vanish. And then they noticed something even more damning. The tile was missing in every level transition except one. It only disappeared starting from the second stage of the run. Not the first, the second. That detail seemed meaningless, but it turned out to be the key that unlocked everything. Another fan eventually found the answer. There was a mod for Spelunky, a modification that let you replay the exact same level over and over again, killing the randomness that defined the entire game. And that mod left a fingerprint. When it was active, it placed an object in the game's code in one specific spot, the exact same spot as the missing tile in Barry Mode's video. And the mod didn't activate until the second stage of the game, which is precisely why the tile only went missing from the second stage onward. The evidence was no longer a theory. The fingerprint matched. What Barry Mode had actually done was replay the same levels again and again until he had them memorized perfectly, removing the randomness that makes Spelunky hard. Then he stitched the best attempts together so the video looked like one flawless, continuous run. For 8 years, the the perfect luck everyone marveled at was never luck at all. When confronted, Barry Mode confessed. He explained that back in 2013, he had just gotten married and was starting a family. He saw people making a living on YouTube and wanted a piece of it, a way to support the people he loved. The fake record was supposed to grow his channel. It didn't work. The channel never took off, but in a strange way, he never fully admitted it was cheating. His words were, and I'm quoting here, "The run is real in every way, except that I eliminated the starting over factor." Think about that. The starting over factor is the entire game. Doing everything perfectly in one shot, without dying, without resetting, is the whole point of speedrunning. Removing it isn't a technicality. It's the difference between climbing the mountain and taking a photograph at the top. But here's the part that actually stings. For 8 years, while a fake run sat at the top of the world, the real record holder was sitting right there in plain sight, forgotten. His name was Exploding Cabbage, one of the very first people to ever speedrun Spelunky. Back in July 2010, 3 years before the fake, he uploaded a legitimate run, 2 minutes and 53 seconds, full of tension, full of near-death moments, full of genuine human skill. It was real, and for 8 years, it lived in the shadow of a lie. When the truth finally came out, the fake was wiped from the leaderboards, and Exploding Cabbage was restored as the rightful record holder, until another runner named Groomp finally beat his time the honest way. The creator of Spelunky himself weighed in, and what he cared about wasn't the drama, it was the history, because to him, these runs are part of the game's story. When someone is the first to do something, when someone pushes a game further than anyone thought possible, that accomplishment belongs to the history of the game itself. And for 8 years, a piece of that history had been stolen. We like to think a lie that good could last forever, that if you're careful enough, clever enough, you can rewrite the record books and nobody will ever know. But the truth was always there, sitting in the corner of the screen, one single tile, out of place, waiting 8 long years for the right person to finally look. Cheaters always think they've covered every track. They never have. Somewhere, there's always one missing tile.